I say that there are three elements: money, medicine, and meaning. Simplifying things, like in VUCA, how do you simplify? Well, in the second half, we need money. And that's Medicare, Medicaid, you know, on and on, long-term care. Money is essential. Medicine is code for health. But the third one is the one I've been a student of, and that is meaning. What Frankl taught me is if you don't have a reason to get up in the morning, you don't live that long. And we all know people who retired and died within 24 months, or people who got to certain ages or stages and did not choose life and did not choose purposeful life. So I've been interviewing elders like this guy. Now there's older elephants and there's older hunter-gatherers like him. This guy is 98 years old. He is my iconic figure of what is possible in terms of aging. He's about this tall. His name is Kampala. And Kampala is a wise hunter-gatherer, like the matriarchal elephant, who has the repository of history for the Hadza hunter-gatherers in Tanzania. And he's not the only one, but he's one of the oldest and one of the wisest, I think, in many ways. And Kampala, I was sitting around the fire interviewing him about how do you become an elder in his society. And he's kind of like completely, what do you mean, how do you become an elder? You get older, but yeah. But you notice that the elders sit closer to the fire. In fact, I wrote a book about this called Claiming Your Place at the Fire. The elders, the wisest of the elders, sit the closest. Not the oldest of the elders, but the wisest. We all know elders who have aged and aren't wise, but the wise ones sit close to the fire. So during a break, he takes me aside and he said, "Richard, you know what the two most important days in your life are?" And I said, "Yeah, of course I know." And if you answered it, what would you say? Two most important days in your life, Greg? When you're born? That's what I said. He went, ugh. You came all the way over here in an airplane, you drove out here in a Land Rover, you're staying in a tent, we're sleeping around the fire, and you don't know the most elemental of our wisdom? Birth, yes. The second most important day in your life, the day you determine why you were born. The day you see how you fit into community, how you fit into tribe. You look at all happiness research today. There's a big bookstore right across the street here. Go in there and look at the happiness books. There's a whole rack of books on happiness today. Every one of them points to two things: tribe or community and purpose. Having a reason to get up in the morning and having a sense of community in certain ways. So I'm a student of why do you get up in the morning? I want to talk about what I consider three essential questions or three essential practices around purpose and purposeful aging and positive aging in many ways. I'm on the board of something called the Mature Market Institute at MetLife. Metropolitan Life in New York has something called the Mature Market Institute, which is kind of their research think tank. And the good news was they actually studied my work right in the heart of the recession, which I thought was very, very interesting. The last couple of years, they looked at and came out with a study that is available, and I think it's talked about. I know in the book you have there, there's a whole story about discovering what matters. But what they did is they asked 1,001 people between the ages of 50 and 74. Why 1,001? Because if it's only 1,000, the media doesn't cover it. Everybody does 1,000, but if it's 1,001, it's over 1,000. So 1,001 people between the ages of 50 and 74 about what matters right in the heart of the recession. And what they found across the 50 to 74 age range was that meaning trumped money. And the New York Times got the press release on this, meaning trumps money, right at the heart of the recession when they were doing the bailouts and everybody's was you know, 401ks were tanking and everything. They said, this is a typo, isn't it? And the fact is that in spite of the crisis, in spite of the change, meaning is fundamental to people's lives. Meaning is not a luxury for the wealthy. It's not a luxury for the baby boomers. It is fundamental to find your place in community, to find meaning in life. It's as fundamental as money and medicine. I submit. And that's what I learned from Frankl. That's what kept people alive in the concentration camps. And that's what kept this person alive, I choose to believe, who came up to me, who was the heart transplant. She wanted her life to continue, but she wanted, there was a sense of hope and meaning and purpose that she felt in our conversation further.
I have a great passion for the power of human identity as a governing force in every one of our lives. I know what it is to know who you are and to live out of that place. That is like a center of gravity. And that when you don't have it, you're all over the place. You have no idea how to make the right choices. But when you do have it, when you can articulate it, when you can say, this is who I am, this is how I create value in the world, this is my fundamental gift. Your identity is your gift to the world. Everything becomes easier. Everything becomes aligned. Everything becomes quite beautiful. It's not a bowl of cherries kind of life. Life is hard, but it gives you a sense of integrity, a sense of authenticity that is unassailable. Most of us think that identity changes with time. I don't believe that. I think our identities are formed at conception. The seeds of who we are there. And that what happens over the course of our lives is that those identities become, if we're fortunate enough, become deeper and richer, more experiential, and consequently more important and more powerful in terms of shaping relationships. I think our identities are the spark that make us who we are, make us human beings, make us the unique beings that we are. I'm here because I believe that the mission of Age Well can be emboldened and strengthened by understanding that identity is very much a spark of human spirit. And what I've learned is that when the spirit dies, if you will, the body follows. And when the spirit lives, the body follows.